Welcome to Ask Us Anything about RVs, and we're in sunny Florida, and it was sunny today. It was quite beautiful, but thanks for giving up some of your time on a Sunday evening to be with us.
Yeah, we are excited to be here. We got the campfire going for you, the virtual campfire. Warm your hands. Here's some more for you. Oh, I ate it already. Yeah, we are down in Florida. I'm Mike, and this is my lifelong traveling companion and my bride, Jennifer.
And Bo is back behind us, our dog, not too far away.
We leave Florida this week, but we'll be right back in about a month, right?
Couple weeks,
less than a month. So we're heading up to Tennessee this week. We can't wait. That we bought up in Tennessee. We have had some work done last week. We're hoping to get some more done this week. We're going to do a meetup for anybody who's coming down for the tour of the woodlands of Buffalo River. That's the area where we bought our 5 acres in. And if you're at that tour, just ask them where our property is and they'll direct you through. And I don't know how to direct somebody there because it's, I guess, a GPS coordinates. I could give that. But we'll be there next week. And I think on Saturdays when we're kind of doing a meet and greet on the property. If you're around, come by and introduce yourself and we'll show you around. Hopefully the weather will be good. We can't wait to get there. We just love that part of Tennessee. And so we're going to be there and hanging out. And it'll be kind of fun.
Are we going to have to winterize or in Tennessee, or when
I think
we
we're
leave
going to
Tennessee?
winterize that Saturday. I think we will, because we're going back up to Michigan for a couple of weeks. And obviously right now up there, it's how cold is it? It's pretty darn cold. It's 27 degrees up there. So yeah, we'll have to winterize to go back up to Michigan. And then we'll come back and de-winterize again.
Then we shouldn't have to.
Yeah. Hey, we want to recognize a brand new member. Rural Internet Prepper became a YouTube member, supporter of our channel on YouTube. Thank you so much for that. We want to give you a shout out. We also have Facebook supporters, and we invite you guys to be a part of that. So what do you get when you're a supporter or a member? Well, you kind of get a little better access to us. We're planning our next gathering, and supporters and members get first dibs. We tell them when the gathering is, and they get like a week's head start to make their reservations. We limit all of our gatherings to about 50 people or 25 rigs or so. And that way we have a chance to meet them, right?
Right. We've
done it with larger groups. Remember when you invited anybody who wanted to come?
I did.
And like 200 people showed up.
It was a disaster.
It was fun, but we didn't get a chance to visit.
It was hard for the little special side trips.
Yeah, it really was. So we have found that when we do our gatherings where we camp together for a few days and have, meals and activities and stuff, that if we limit it to about 25 rigs, we get to know everybody and their rigs a little bit. And anyway, supporters and members, and that's how you join. You guys get first dibs on that, and we will be announcing one, I think, in a couple of weeks, and we'll give you all a heads up on that. And then we open it up to anybody else who wants to come. So that's pretty fun. So thanks for joining their Rural Internet Prepper, and we appreciate that. And then also, we want to remind you we're simulcasting this on our Facebook group, our Facebook page, and YouTube. And those of you on YouTube, we get a lot of questions. There's a thing called Super Chat. You could look down. It's like a little $sign, and you basically make a donation. YouTube gets some and we get some, but it puts you up at the top of the queue for questions, and we can answer those questions. We try and give priority to those too. That's what a Super Chat is on YouTube. So, want to get some questions going?
Sounds like fun.
All right, let's see what we got. Our friends Davis, Tandy, and Buster.
Hello from beautiful sunny Knoxville, Tennessee. Really enjoyed the Class A motorhome video. Not my cup of tea, but very interesting. It was very interesting.
We had fun with going through those Class A's. That was from the Tampa RV show. And if you're a regular, we're hunkered down in Florida. And the reason we've been here for 2 weeks is I've been editing videos. And
plus, it's a nice place to be.
It's a real nice place, especially today out on the beach.
Today was beautiful. But those Class A's, you don't realize it till you get in them, how it's so big. The ceiling is so high. There's so much room in there.
Yeah.
It really is a small home.
I've said a couple times, I could see us
You
in one
like
of those small Class A's, and who knows what our next RV will be. We've got a video coming up on fifth wheels, and I could really see us in the fifth wheel. Yeah.
That's because he wants a truck.
No, it's because I was amazed. You were too. You were very impressed.
I was very impressed. I really did like them.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. I couldn't believe how cute they were.
Yeah. So I could see us in one of those. What do y'all think about that if we got in a fifth wheel? We've been in Class B's, and then we've been in Class C's. We've never been in an A for any period of time, and we've never really been in a fifth wheel. We have had a towable trailer before, so we know about that. Who knows what our next one will be, but we sure had fun at Tampa.
What I can say is, if you got a fifth wheel, Bo would be so happy.
Because he'd have a truck.
Yeah. He'd be able to sit there and look out the window, because I have not seen any vehicle where he can see out the window. Yeah.
Now, we were in that Class A. We were at one yesterday at Camping World. That day, the day before.
I can't remember which one we were in, where there was a row of seats behind the driver.
Ford Hurricane.
And there were two seats, and Bo could have sat there and looked out the window, and he would have been comfortable with that.
But they also had a hole cut in the passenger door down low, and we think that was so that the driver could see if he's near the curb. But the sales guy at Camping World said, no, that's for the dog to look out. And
so the dog would be right under my feet.
So yes,
and when you have a 70-pound dog,
you don't have any room for your feet.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any room for my feet. And what I've noticed, it seems like with a lot of these big Ford engines, there's this
that big engine hump right in the middle there. Yeah.
And that's a little hard to walk around, and its dog can't sit there.
Yeah, but it's because it's that big engine.
Yeah, it's really quite big.
Yeah, so you pull it up, and you gotta. Oh well,
it was really. It's so much fun looking at all the different types of RVs.
Yeah,
I am excited about next year.
Yeah,
I am.
I don't know what we're going to have, but we're going to have fun. We're going to have something, and we're going to.
I'm talking about going to the show again. I want to.
Oh, the show.
See, I didn't satisfy my desire to look at everything, because I was recovering a little tired from COVID. So, like that industry day, I worked with you for about 4.5 hours, and then I went and took a 3-hour nap.
Yeah,
and let you work.
I worked like a pig dog. I was everywhere, and it was fun. The next big RV show we'll do is Hershey in September. We always do that show. And maybe we'll do Dealer Open House in Elkhart this year too.
That would be fun.
Highland Award.
Okay. Hello from Robbinsville, New Jersey. Is there such thing as an RV travel agent that will make your RV reservations for you? If not, there should be. I agree that there should be. Just the travel agents, there should be such a thing.
I actually thought at one point
that you were going to do that?
No, that we were just going to hire a producer to help us book our stays and everything. But for us, it wouldn't work because we change our mind every 2 hours.
Our daughter booked a trip for us.
She did an awesome job.
Yeah, she loves doing that. There are people out there who love to do that.
You know, it is
people out there who love to do that.
I don't know
figure out a way to make some money and do that.
I know real travel agents have taken such a big hit. Agencies because of the internet and everybody making their own reservations. But for RVers, I can almost see that there could be a business somebody could generate with that.
Yeah.
It's a great idea, Linda. Why don't you start one? We'll give you some promotion.
Well, yeah, just kind of like when you book a trip with somebody, and they tell you where to go, where to stay.
Yeah.
What to see when you're in the area.
Hello to Kevin Kramer.
What's the best way to sell an RV without going to a dealer?
Put it on RV Trader. Mm-hmm. That's probably the leading publication to sell RVs. RV Trader. We have no connection with them, but it's pretty good. Some people use Facebook Marketplace. I'm not a big fan of Facebook Marketplace.
And there's no way that you're going to open it up like on Tuesday or something that anybody who wants to sell an RV can list it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just checking.
No. I don't know. We'll ask Phyllis if she wants to do that, if she wants to moderate that. But
Phyllis is going to turn on me.
Well, we could have one day.
Making her more work.
People could list their RVs for sale. She's shaking her head. I think, no, we can do it.
Is that yes or no? The shaking the head. That was a no.
She's supposed to go up or down. We see Phyllis. She told me she's going down. She's just mean, people. So I think it's a great idea. But hey, she took it that she changed the topic even. Anne's Senior Adventures. I love your name, Anne.
I understand we can't drive through a tunnel carrying a propane tank. Have you ever driven in a tunnel by mistake? You've never driven by mistake.
I've never driven in a tunnel by mistake.
But you have had a propane tank.
I refuse to comment on whether my propane was on or off. I claim the Fifth Amendment. Does that work?
Sure. But you're supposed to turn it off.
And yes, you're supposed to turn it off.
But you shouldn't turn it off, always. Always turn off the propane tank when you drive through a tunnel.
Okay. Robin Idlewild. We are having taquitos tonight.
Ooh. And getting ready for our second trip to the Grand Canyon in early March. Have a good show.
I love the Grand Canyon. I love it when it's cool there too.
Yes.
So I wonder if they're going to the South Rim or the North Rim. I think the North Rim's closed though, most of it right now because
of snow. Oh, Bo would like to go there.
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
Yeah, that's like so much.
One Mike Kilo.
We travel with our dog,
Ruby.
The floor heater vent blows right on her spot. Is it okay to block that vent?
We have the same exact problem with our dog, Bo. And what Bo does is he comes and jumps in bed with me. And it's a single bed. Well, and he's 70 pounds. I never thought of, I think it would probably be okay. It would probably just put more air out in the other vents that you have. But I would ask, the dealer is not going to know any more than we do on that. Let's see what everybody else on the group, if I'm wrong, but I don't think that would hurt because you can certainly do that you can turn off a vent,
I turn the vent so it goes back or goes up.
If you have adjustments.
Yeah, our heat vent is right where Bo's bed is.
Yeah, right there.
I don't think you're talking about driving. I think you're talking about when it's
time to sleep.
Yeah. And it really bothers Bo. He hates it. So, we are so bad. We carry that space heater.
A little ceramic heater.
Yeah, then we'll put that up on a counter because that's the only place we have to put it so that Bo isn't blasted with that heat. That heat comes on and he starts panting. And
he does not like that.
No, he's not at all happy.
No. Robin Ostermeyer.
Okay, when you mooch dock, do you ever plug in? Can you use a 30 amp adapter for a 20 amp home or 15 amp home?
Yes, you can. You can't run your microwave off of that. You can't run your air conditioner, but you should be able to do just fine with that using an adapter. In the summertime, if you have something called soft start on your RV, you can run that RV on a 20 amp circuit. But yes, lots of people do that. You just don't have the intense power. I've heard some people say that you can run a coffee pot, coffee mug, coffee heater, or Keurig, whatever they call those things now. You can run one of those, but you can't run a toaster, which is toasters take up a lot of juice.
Probably hair dryers.
Something else you can't use is a electric blanket when you're doing just little amperage like that as well. So, but yes, you can, and that will allow you to use just about everything except your air conditioner, a toaster, a hair dryer, stuff like that. Microwave, yeah, that's too much. Hi, Janelle.
Has the demand gone up for the RV lots in your Nashville property area? Price has gone up since you bought?
I don't think the prices have gone up. No. I know, and they started the development we're in with 1,500 acres in the last fall. That's when we bought. And they have since bought another 1,500 acres. So they have a total of 3,000 acres, just huge area. And so I think that I don't think the prices have gone up. I know some of the choicer lots, like near us. I think all of our neighbors. I've heard from many of them who watch us. They've all bought within 5 or 6 lots of us. But they're having a big. I should probably tell everybody they're having a big one-day sale on February 12th, Saturday. It's coming Saturday. And if you go to I should put this on the screen someplace, or maybe Chris, who's over on YouTube, can put it on the chat. But if you go to myrvland.com, see if you can get an appointment. If you're anywhere near the area of Mid Tennessee, where the woodlands are, it's near a little town called Linden, and that's about 90 miles west of Nashville. So you're in what they call Nashville's big backyard. but demand is there. They're selling them like crazy, but they have a lot of property, 3,000 acres. So, and they're selling them. I think the smallest parcel is 5 acres and the largest is about 100.
Who is telling us that people from New York and was it California are buying up the state of Tennessee?
Somebody told us. Yeah, there's the link right there,
that.
myrvland.com, and that's how you can get an appointment for Saturday. We'll be there. We're going to be there for a couple of days this week, but we're going to hang around Saturday till about 3:30 or so in the afternoon. So if you're there, come and see us. We have to leave at 3:30 because Saturday is Jennifer's birthday.
Right. And we're going to our son and daughter-in-law's and grandson's house.
Over in Nashville.
In Nashville.
So we'll be there till about 3:30. We'd love to meet you. But lots of stuff still there. So, but give them a call because I know the demand is huge and they're selling a lot of property. All Janelle.
Right. We are waiting on our Echo to be delivered. Seems like there are quite a few issues with quality with this Winnebago. Do you feel like the quality has deteriorated with Winnebago?
No, I don't know. We don't own a Winnebago. We
Never
looked at some. We went through
a lot of them, and really they look nice.
We went through their Class Bs, Cs, and a couple of their As, and we were very impressed with what we saw at Tampa. So I can't say anything bad about their quality, but the demand is huge. RV makers are doing their best to crank out as many as they can to meet all the back orders, and it's kind of just a given. You'd think that a few more things are going to slip through, but if you have a good dealer, they'll be taking care of them.
And then you wonder about their ability to get good workers
and good parts and all that stuff. Speaking of which, on the podcast this coming week, we have a great interview about mobile techs. We've been talking about mobile techs and how you ought to use those for your service issues when you're out on the road. And we're interviewing a mobile tech, and we're interviewing the RV Technical Institute, which is a training center funded by manufacturers and people in the RV industry aim to produce more techs. And so I think you're going to really enjoy this interview about getting service and what a vital role now when something goes wrong, a mobile tech is, instead of maybe taking it to a dealership where you might have to wait weeks. So, but I'm sure your Echo is fine. That's a fine unit. Winnebago is selling a lot of them. I
like the Echoes.
And it's always in the manufacturer's interest to make us happy and satisfied customers. So
I don't know if they're postponing delivery to you because they find things that are wrong, or I don't know.
They don't have parts, but I think you'll be happy with your Echo. It's a really neat machine. Terry Gillis.
Good place to camp in Michigan that is similar to Silver Lake State Park. Wanting shore beach and spacious sites.
Well, Silver Lake State Park is on a kind of like a little inland lake just over the dunes from Lake Michigan. I would urge you to look at the Muskegon State Park to the south of there. And then to the north of there, although you might have to drive a little bit if you can go to Platte River Campground. It's a National Park Service campground.
That's very nice.
But you're not right on the water. You're not right on the water in any of those. Muskegon's probably the closest you'd find to Silver Lake State Park. And I'll tell you right now, Muskegon State Park is probably in the top 3 or 4 of the most popular state parks in Michigan. And that thus means it's going to be in the hardest to get in. If you want to go further north, Petoskey State Park is really nice to try. That too is on that list of the top 5.
Yeah, it's next to impossible.
Further south, way down in southwest Michigan on Lake, try Warren Dunes State Park. All of those have some sand dunes and can get you to the lake. Grand Haven State Park is right on the shores of Lake Michigan. We have never in 10 years been able to get a camping spot there. And we've tried.
That's because you have to book early.
Yeah, you got to book early, but we have never been able to get one there. That's how busy that place is. So you're going to some of the most popular state parks in the country, really. But
when Michigan has blue skies, those Great Lakes and the blue sky and all the sand, it is absolutely awesome.
It is.
When you get the
But I hope, and I just gave you several alternatives, and I hope
it works out for you.
Yep. All right. Did we talk about the sweepstakes that we're giving away? 5 memberships in RV Life Pro. Got to get this right now. And if you enter our sweepstakes. Just go to rvlifestyle.com/sweepstakes. You can then, I should get that up on the screen, actually. You can then enter as many times as you want. We're going to give away those 5 memberships, one for each. 5 people are going to get a year's membership, and that will be done pretty soon. So next Sunday we'll do it. Oh, we're not going to be here next Sunday. We should tell them all that.
Yeah.
You want to tell them?
All right. Next Sunday, because of the Super Bowl and because we're going to be driving,
Yeah.
we decided, well, I suggested to Mike, I said, let's take the night off since we'll be driving. That way we don't have to pull over who knows where.
Yeah. And like last week, we had the playoffs and a big fallout, not in audience participation. A lot of you were watching those games. I'd like to have watched one of them myself. So Super Bowl Sunday, we're going to take off. So no Ask Us Anything next week. Question from Michael Peters.
What's the best rig formula to visit all of the national parks?
Well, a Class B, if you want to really visit all of them. A travel trailer.
Class C with towed, Class A with towed.
If you're towing
Class B,
something,
staying at hotels.
A travel trailer or fifth wheel.
Tent?
You think a tent's the best way? It probably is.
Teasing.
What are you doing? I don't know.
Just teasing.
Well, he's asking, what do you think the great? If you notice it says 35-foot maximum in the national parks.
Yeah.
The bigger your rig, the harder it is to find a place to park.
Mm-hmm.
The more challenging it is to navigate your rig and read in that a travel trailer or a long fifth wheel, the more challenging it's going to be to find a spot. Put a Class A with a towed on it, and it's impossible. Now, if you stay outside the park where you can leave the Class A or leave the fifth wheel, and then use your towed to drive you into the park, you're great. If you want to be in your RV and see it all, Class B is the best.
It seems to me like a Yellowstone. There were a couple campgrounds where Class A's, the long ones could be.
You can't get into them.
But you can't get into
try
them.
and get into them.
Your chances of getting in, the smaller the rig, the better.
Yeah.
And I laugh when I think about a tent, because at Glacier National Park, they were telling us about somebody who's in a tent and a bear came and sat on their tent.
Sat on it while they were sleeping. Pushing the tent.
I mean, I wouldn't have a tent
Bears
in
going,
bear country.
Huh?
I wouldn't have a tent in bear country.
If you're talking about Yellowstone, there's places like West Yellowstone. They have lots of places where you can, if you reserve in advance, where you can get your spot. But it's all that. Facebook user with a question.
All right. Any plans for a meetup in the Destin area? We'll be in the area February 22nd to March 8th.
Well, we will be here. That's where we are now.
I don't know when we're going to be back in March.
But we'll be here February 22nd.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, we won't. But we'll be here early March.
Yeah.
Our problem is that we have about 4 stories we have to do in several different parts of Florida when we get back here. So I don't think so. We're looking, I should talk about, there's meetups and there's gatherings. Meetups are where we say, hey, we're going to be here for the afternoon, come visit us. We probably should have done one today because it was a beautiful day. And actually we had a great time. We were out hiking this morning and I walked the beach this morning, sat in a chair this afternoon on the beach. It was great.
Somebody else went to the gym.
I'm just rubbing this into you people in the cold. I know.
So isn't that just pretty pathetic that I don't go walk the beach and sit?
Well, you do what you want to do. She wanted to go to the gym.
I did what fills my cup.
Yeah, it fills your cup. For me, it was sand and surf. It was great. But we won't be here to have a meeting at that time. Sorry. We will be here during most of March and April. So on and off, running around, and we'll try and do a couple for the rest of you who might be able to make it. Carla Kiefer Aguzzi.
Can you pull into a campsite without reservations?
If they have an opening, if you mean just to pull in, yeah, you can pull in and they'll say, sorry, full, but you don't have a place to stay. Now, there are some places, if they have an opening, they'll, hey, we had a cancellation. Yep. You got spot 123. I
think you're thinking about maybe at night when nobody's in the office and you see an empty spot and you pull into it.
No, you can't do that.
Normally they mark the spots, whereas somebody's they put a cone in front of the spot, or
they put a tag on the post outside the site. But
or like a KOA, they'll tell you which ones are empty. They'll have
Now-
some paperwork.
Now there are, Carla, some spots that are available for walk-ins, where meaning that they keep, and it's in every state's different. Every place is different. Where they keep a few spots open and then they fill them up. But pull in and check them out if you're going by.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Can't you see that maybe somebody doesn't check to see the little piece of paper on the post or whatever, and somebody goes out for dinner and they come back and.
Yeah, Carol wants to know about boondocking in Florida and how far in advance Dupuis, I don't know where the heck that is, will book ahead. I don't know, call them.
I have to
In
call.
Florida, most places, some places will take reservations a year in ahead. Some will take them 6 months ahead. But give them a call. Find out when you can book for whatever time you're in, and good luck. Very hard to do boondocking. Florida is not a really friendly boondocking spot. There's a few spots you can, like the Ocala National Forest. We did boondocking last year on the Eglin Air Force Base, right next to a bombing range, and that was really a really pretty good spot. There's a video on our YouTube channel on it if you want to look at that. But it's called Boondocking on a Bombing Range. But it's hard to find, and that's a spot you can get into almost any time. I wonder and there's signs about alligators and rattlesnakes on the boondocking spot there. But
do we say anything about sometimes boondocking spots with the rise in homeless people, or do we not go there?
Well, we're going to go there, but there'll be some elements out there that'll say, well, homeless people need a place too. One of the things that you have to kind of watch out for in places like the Ocala National Forest and some others are homeless encampments. This has become a huge problem, and I'm sorry, I don't want to talk.
Yeah, we don't want to get.
I'm just telling you, they're filthy, dirty places filled with some people that have been known to cause issues.
And they can't put everybody in one box.
Yeah,
some folks are just wonderful, and other folks.
Yep, and
you have to be careful.
But you want to be alert and careful, and. When we boondocked,
it's like if you go to the mall.
Yeah, then just in a mall parking lot.
Right.
Or when we were at the Ocala National Forest last time we were there, we were warned to be really careful, and we had no problems. But there's a lot of places where you can see there've been a lot of homeless people or camper. They just leave stuff behind, and it's.
When we were at that one camping spot, somebody told us, don't go to this certain one because they have, unless you like drugs, they have these drug parties there, illegal substances.
And those places come and go and all that.
Yeah, I'm sure they move and all that sort of thing around, but it was nice to have somebody familiar with the area saying, don't go to that one.
You know what I would do is I would just call the National Forest Registry office in that area. I would call and ask to talk to the ranger and say, hey, we want to do some boondocking, some dispersed camping. Can you tell us, are there any areas we should be that we should be on the lookout for? That's probably a good way to do it. It's not a problem. Phil Johnson.
Hi, I love your channel. Thank you.
Bill.
Thank you all for great info. In a previous video, you stated that you don't like the rooftop heat pumps. Why is that?
Well, because when we need heat, we're usually in an area that is much colder than a heat pump and an air conditioner can handle. So that's why we've never relied on them. Plus, they draw so much electricity, and we are boondocking, and the heat pump takes a ton of electricity. So for that reason, we have found instead of a heat pump that we'll just run our regular heater, and it works better. I think they're probably fine if you're plugged into electricity and you're someplace where it gets just a little cool at night and you don't want the cold air blowing on you and you need a little help. We've never needed it in 10 years of camping, and I stay away from anything else that will take electricity. Even when I'm plugged into, and it's just good habits, I guess. Well, even I'm plugged into shore power, I don't like, hey, we got electricity, let's run everything. So I think they're fine, just not in the kind of the cold weather that we go to. Lynette True Wilkie.
And Lynette says, hi, and she's from Florida. I travel with horses in a living quarters trailer and wish you could incorporate horse parks as well.
Yeah, I would love to of course, I bet everybody thinks that sounds pretty cool. Now, if you're a fan of Yellowstone, we've all come to know and love horses. I want a horse. I really do. I think you know all what I'm talking about, the Yellowstone series. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about horse parks other than one of the spots we just stayed at coming down here in Georgia had an area for folks with horse trailers and campers behind it. And I think there's probably a lot of parks that have that. So good for you. That'd be really fun. Shorty Grambling.
Do you cook in your travel camper? Yes, we do.
Yeah, we try to cook most of our meals in our camper.
A lot of times I prepare stuff at home and freeze it and take it with us
And warm it up. Yeah.
and warm it up. And I try to grill out to keep the smells out of our small space. But yeah, we do, particularly breakfast and lunch.
Yep. There's our friend, our new YouTube member, Rural Internet Prepper.
Have you tried the new Moby RV internet products yet?
No, I haven't done so. I've got a system that works really good for me and have not tried it. Don't know anything about it. And I mean, let's face it, every 10 minutes, there's a new internet product out there. I do this and I do not recommend that if you're looking to get internet that you buy it from a third party provider. These are people who buy up, and I don't know if that's Moby or not, but these are people who buy up big hunks of internet time and then resell them. Those guys come and go. I don't want to say a dime a dozen because they charge a lot of money. They provide great uninterrupted, their thing is, unthrottled, unlimited internet. And over 10 years, I have watched these companies come up, advertise like crazy, get lots of supporters, and then go right under. And then the supporters are either stuck with that equipment or they got to go find somebody new. If you really need internet, get one from one of the providers. And I know there's probably people like we're really happy. I actually have a third party that I'm using now. But I don't accept advertising from those guys anymore. I just won't do it because they come and they go, and I don't want people to have bought something that I recommend only to get left high and dry in the end. So generally, as a rule, I urge people not to buy from a third-party internet reseller. They call them resellers. Jack Partain.
Enjoyed meeting you all in Tampa. You're our Sunday dinner companions. Can you comment on RV Caravan Services? We went to the seminar at Tampa and are intrigued.
They've been around for a long time, several different companies. They put on a really well-organized caravan tour. Typically, you'll go, Alaska is a big popular destination, but they'll do the Western national parks. They'll do all sorts of them. And if you like traveling in a group and, leaving at a certain time and being with a bunch of other people all the time, and you all come into the same area and you go to different activities. It's kind of like a organized bus tour, but you drive your own bus. I think that's a good way to put it, right?
Sure.
So it's a great way to see things, make new friends. And if you like that kind of stuff, being highly organized like that and
you don't have to do all the homework. Not that you wouldn't want to do homework, so you can
they've got it all figured out,
all the different places
where
that you're
should
going,
eat, what you should do.
Right.
Yeah, it's good.
I think it sounds like fun.
Yeah. We've had a couple of them approach us asking us if we wanted to organize something with them. And I told them that we are so disorganized, I couldn't follow the organization if I was organizing it. So we haven't gone any further, but I know a lot of people really like doing that. Thomas Boone.
Is the surge protector that comes installed into the LTV sufficient?
Yes, it is. It's a great surge protector. I already have a surge protector. So another one that I like to plug into the pedestal because I like to visually see all those green lights that everything is okay. That's just a thing where I'm a little too anal probably about it. But the surge protector in the leisure travel vans is more than adequate. Yep. RV Home.
We bought our property in Florida 1 year ago, and it has gone up 30%. Oh, well, thank you.
Happy birthday
to me. Happy birthday to Mike. He's not telling you his birthday is Tuesday.
Oh, you had to tell everybody, huh?
Right.
I was waiting for you to tell her I'm going to be 2 years older than you now.
Okay.
Instead of a year. That's awesome. it's gone up 30%.
Yes.
That's good. A lot of people, that's one of the reasons, we're looking at Tennessee because it's a good investment. That's why we have it. And we're developing it into, we're going to have 3 RV spots there. We may or may not rent them out, but we certainly will make them available to some of our friends and stuff. But it's a good investment, we think, too. Corey Collins.
With no deed restrictions or HOA, are you concerned about what some people will use the Woodlands property for, such as commercial development, new RV park, junkyard, etc.?
No, I'm not. I'm not worried about meteors striking, or.
Well, I can see why you're concerned about that, but
if you were worried about that, don't buy anything,
well,
or go buy deed restrictions.
Don't buy there. Buy someplace where they have an HOA.
Yeah.
We're not worried about it.
Yeah, we aren't worried about it. And I don't think any of the people who have bought are worried about it either. James Massey.
All right. How did y'all get Bo acclimated, trained to be so comfortable in your RV and camping?
What makes you think he is, James?
Bo is reversing as far as being comfortable in the RV. All it takes is for something to fall off a shelf.
Or a bump in the road.
A bump in the road. If he could bite his nails, he would. I mean, and then the worst thing was the shade. We bought the twin beds because he was so comfortable when we had that one that we borrowed for 2 weeks, the Wonder. And the shade fell down.
He was lying in bed. It came out. Yeah.
That takes care of that.
The vibrations pulled the screws out.
He no longer rides on the bed. He wants the bed when we're parked, but he is not riding in that Deathmobile back there.
So, if we got something where we towed a fifth wheel, say, or we had a bigger Class A, he would probably ride a little more adjusted than he is now. But our feeling is, get used to it, Bo, because this is the way it is, but he's not very well acclimated or trained.
Poor baby.
He will go because he knows it'll have fun eventually. But.
I had visions when we got the Wonder that I could make the 2 seats facing each other, some kind of platform, so he could sit back there, so he could sit behind Mike. And we have met people that their dog, a German Shepherd, different dogs, sit behind the driver and they're comfortable there. We tried to get Bo to do that. But he he wants my seat. If he sits in my seat,
if he's co-pilot, he's good.
He just sits there and he is so happy.
Hey, thank you, Chris, over on YouTube, reminding us that we're giving away 5 memberships. Count them to RV Life Pro, not Lifer, RV Life Pro. And it's a bundled app for RV travel, including RV Trip Wizard, which is the best planning tool we've ever found. As well as a whole bunch of other little modules that are with that are bundled with it. And you can enter that contest. We're going to give them away, announce the winners next Sunday. So you've got till next Sunday to enter as many times as you want. RVlifestyle.com/sweepstakes. There's no charge at all. It's absolutely free. RVlifestyle.com.
And because we're not going to be on the air next Sunday, the newsletter?
Yeah, we'll announce it a week from tomorrow in the newsletter. And the 5 winners. And the 5 winners will all be notified by email on Sunday. Christy Anderson.
Do you have any experience with Passport America membership? And thank you for all we do for the RV community.
Yeah, we were members, I think, the first year that we started RVing 10 years ago. And we only stayed a member for a year. So we found little value in it. And when I wanted a discount, it was always... the campgrounds would say, oh, we don't do it this weekend. It's only during the week, or it's not this time, or we didn't find that much of a savings. And for us, other people I know, love it. It just, for us, it wasn't something that we really were very happy with, or that I would recommend.
You have to plan ahead.
You have to plan ahead. Yeah.
If you can plan ahead, it's just on the extreme end, like that is something like Thousand Trails, where it costs a fortune. You have to register to only use it in a certain region of the country. But I've heard the same thing with that. People pay a fortune in it, and then they have trouble getting in on the dates that they want. So I'm not a big fan of any of those membership camping outfits, other than something like KOA, where you get a 5% discount. And it makes it easy to register. They get all your info.
Harvest Hosts, we're big supporters of them, where you can stay for free at campgrounds or at farms and wineries, stuff like that. But retired life Ollie style.
We're thinking about going to Destin or surrounding area in March. Do you have any recommendations?
For what?
To camp.
For food camp? Okay. Start with.
I guess I just started
in this March
camping.
If it's camping, good luck. I mean,
maybe it is sights to see, things to do.
Well, I don't know. If they're thinking about it, it tells me they're looking for a campground, and every campground I think is going to have a tough time getting in. But I'll start in Destin at Henderson State Park, gorgeous state park. If you go further south of there, you've got Grayton Beach State Park. If you go north of there into right across the bridge outside of Destin, you have Destin West, which is right on Choctawhatchee Bay. Beautiful park. If you go further north or further west on Highway 98, you'll pass 3 or 4 campgrounds in Navarre, Florida. And then you can make your way into Pensacola. Pensacola Beach has a couple of campgrounds there. We have written all about these on the blog. If you just go to rvlifestyle.com and do a search for Florida campgrounds, Florida beach campgrounds, you'll get a ton of recommendations. And we have several stories about all the places to camp around here. As far as what to see and do, the beach is the big draw. And the Gulf Islands National Seashore is here. And that is a beautiful spot, although you cannot drive an RV, I believe, still on the road from Pensacola to Navarre. But there's parking in Navarre where you can still get there. What else? Millions of good restaurants,
museum.
Lots of shopping. There's a great, great Air Force Armament Museum here. There is the Air Naval Station in Pensacola, which is awesome. That's where the Blue Angels practice, and I believe it's Tuesdays when they're in season. You can watch them practice for free. So lots of stuff to do. A lot of it is on our website. If you just go to rvlifestyle.com and search Destin, Florida, that'll give you a number of articles that we've written. And enjoy it. It's beautiful down here. Robert Goen.
I received a TSD fuel card. But I see that Flying J no longer allows it to be used at their stations. What other fuel discount cards have you used?
Well, we don't have diesel anymore, so I don't need that TSD. That's what that mostly is for, is diesel. We've had the Flying J stuff. Frankly, I get tired of having to plug in their numbers and then my credit card and all that stuff. So I don't have any fuel discount card right now. I don't have any of them. And I don't know that many are available for RVers. The TSD was, originally for truckers, for diesel products. I think that's you have to have diesel for it, but I don't know. Don't use any. RV Home.
I was told at the Tampa RV show, TSD, that they are coming out with a gas card by March.
Well, that's great. I would recommend that, but who will accept it? So that's what you got to find out. Who's going to accept it? Ed Kohler.
We own a lot here in Florida. Is there a site where property owners can swap time at each other's property?
Ed, since we bought property, I bet we're asked that 2 and 3 times a week, and I know of none. We toyed around very briefly with starting one, but we have enough trouble administering all of the social media sites that we have now, so it's not going to be us. But I think that's a great idea.
On Wednesday, you can let everybody talk.
No, yeah. After, what was the other one that you tried to get
selling their vehicles?
Selling their vehicles on Tuesdays and then swapping sites.
Yeah.
I think that we'll certainly consider something along those lines later on. But I think there's a need for
There's a need for that.
Maybe there is. I don't know of any yet, Ed.
Yeah.
But it's a great idea where, hey, Ed, I'm going to be over in the middle of Florida. Can I use your lot? And you can say, hey, Mike, I'm going up through Tennessee. Can I use yours? That would be an awesome thing.
Can you imagine trying to regulate that?
No.
I mean,
Phyllis can do it.
Somebody's got a spot.
They can't see Phyllis down there shaking her head. The Traveling Kites.
Okay, we're thinking of a week in Michigan late summer. We like the quiet life, non-touristy, small town, coffee shops, shopping, nature trails. Are there places you would recommend? Better book.
Oh gosh. Well, it's all touristy in the summer. You know, that's when
How
Michigan
about
makes their money.
late summer? The kids start getting ready to go back to school.
Yeah. Well, the Upper Peninsula in August is spectacular, and you'll find all of that if you go to the Upper Peninsula. Our favorite towns are Munising. We absolutely love Copper Harbor, which is about the most remote place in the UP. Really,
Yeah, go to the tip of Copper Harbor and just enjoy.
We love Grand Marais in the Upper Peninsula. We like in the northern part of Michigan, look in the Petoskey area. Petoskey is a very upscale little town, and if you time it right in late August, maybe certainly you'll find it not touristy at all, but very very busy in the summer. So we'll probably have a new
Holland, Michigan.
Holland, Michigan, down on the lower part of the southwestern Michigan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So many spots. Hey, listen, we have run
Cherry
out of time.
country.
We've gone 45 minutes. How about that? Wow. Once again, you guys want to win that bundle of really cool RV trip planning and campground reviews, access to all of that stuff. We're giving away 5 of those next week. So go there. New merch. Go check out our shirts and our things. This is one of our designs. This is our cool hoodie. It's still in the 40s here in Florida. It's 52 right now.
I always like something with a zipper because
Yeah.
I feel like if it goes around my
John's
neck,
got
I'm
one.
going to get strangled.
Yeah, see, you got your.
Yep,
There's
got mine
yours.
on.
There's our. But we got lots more shirts, t-shirts, hats, cups. Looking for information on how to do some camping? Go check that site right there. We've got lots of info for you. And that's it for this week. Again, we will not have an Ask Us Anything next week. We're not going to do one next week because we're going to be driving and it's the Super Bowl. So we're going to let everybody watch that game. But we'll be back in 2 weeks with another Ask Us Anything. Newsletter tomorrow. Lots of stuff in that. Podcast. We're talking about mobile RV techs. You got to listen to this. If you have a breakdown on the road, this is what you need to know. You got to work with these guys. They're awesome. And they are all over the country. You can find mobile techs. And then we'll continue along with our videos from Tampa next week. We'll have videos on some of the other RVs we saw, some of the things we're looking at. And who knows, we pop up with our live feeds like we did today on Instagram all the time. So thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you have a great week. Once again, Saturday, the 12th, we will be on our property in mid-Tennessee at the Woodlands near
At high
Linden,
noon.
Tennessee. myrvland.com is where you want to go and check with those guys. They'll show you the property, the development, and then you can come by and see us at our site. We will be there. Cross your fingers for me. I think I'm going to have all my septic, and if the weather holds good, I'll have my water hooked up this week. That's what we're going to do when we get down there later on in the week. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great week.
Happy trails.